They think they're the ones that's being, it's like people say, to give equality seems like oppression to the people who've been the oppressor. To give equality, to give people a equal chance. That's why they hate DEI so much. They
They
don't
feel like
like it.
they gonna become the
Right.
oppressed.
Right. They so scared that it's gonna happen to them because you know why? They know what their people and their parents and their grandparents have done for centuries. And they're so scared to become the minority. Like it's disgusting, man. But this is the country we live in right now with the leader of the country spewing all this crap.
I
Man.
agree. But moving on.
Yeah.
At least 6 senior leaders in the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division have resigned, citing internal disputes over the handling of the Renee Good killing by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. The officials have reportedly stepped down after the division declined to pursue an investigation into the shooting, prompting concerns over the administration's transparency and accountability within federal law enforcement.
Yeah, man. They've decided that ICE has immunity. We've heard Stephen Miller. You heard JD Vance. They've all said it several times that these guys have immunity. So they're saying they can do whatever the hell they want to, and they're going to do everything they can to protect them, whatever they do. So that's why ICE is out here acting so crazy because they're telling them, you guys can do whatever you want to. You have immunity, and if you want to, just do whatever you want. And they are, and people are standing up, man. Another office because they wanted to go after the lady's wife and go investigate her, and people quit because they're like, what we do? But that's what's going on. They said that the cop he was in the hospital for internal bleeding.
Allegedly.
That's what they say. That's what the government says. So I mean they're going all in, man, and they're going to do everything whatever they can to protect the ICE agents. So somebody else is going to get hurt, man. They're going to hurt somebody else, and it's going to keep going because, like I said, you're telling these people they can do whatever they want to. Why would they stop? The president, the vice president, everyone's in their corner telling them, hey, do whatever you want. Immunity, immunity, immunity. So they're going to hurt a lot more people, man, and it's just going to get worse. So unfortunately, man, get ready for another Renee Good because these officers are being let off the leash, and they can do whatever they want to. And it's cool that people are standing up and quitting, and a lot of people are doing that across the country, trying to stand up to this administration. But when you have the mindset that the Trump administration has now, which they don't care about the people, anybody that's opposed to them is the enemy. They don't look at them as Americans. They're domestic terrorists. That's immediately what they call her. So anybody who protests against them, domestic terrorists. They sound like the people from Iran. No
But
different.
Trump said stop killing them, though.
Yeah, he cares about them. But us, he's sicking his ice on everybody, and they're out here just doing whatever they want to with immunity. So I don't know, man. I just really know that we're gonna have to get ready for more people to lose their lives in the hands of ICE. And we're gonna talk about some of the people that has lost their life in the hands of ICE so far, and how many people later on in this episode here.
Moving on. Lastly, the Trump administration this week announced that it is terminating the temporary protected status for thousands of Somali nationals that are residing in the U.S., forcing them to self deport by March 17th, or they'll face forced deportations. Secretary Kristi Noem has said that the conditions in Somalia have improved, even though critics and humanitarian groups are arguing that the country remains unsafe and unstable.
Mhm.
This decision has already sparked legal challenges and protests, especially from advocacy groups who say that it tears the communities apart. This move follows broader immigration policy shifts that have included crackdowns like we've seen in Minnesota and beyond.
Yeah, man, that's the mission right now, man, is to get rid of all the people that they can. That's the mission right now, to put out as many black and brown people as they can. And they're doing it. They are doing it. And a lot of people are happy. They're clapping. They don't care if these people was running from situations, wars and civil wars, and they don't care, man. So it's a tough time for people who came to America looking for the American dream, the dream that's been promised, like I say all the time, with on the Statue of Liberty, the words, and we're these people, they talk about Joe Biden, how He opened it back up and let people back in the country. They hate that shit. They don't want no one in here. But like I keep saying, the consequences, man. We're not having a lot of kids. We're losing population. We're gonna start losing population, and that's not gonna be good for our economy and for us to be the largest economy. We can say, oh, nobody else come here all we want, but we're the ones that's gonna suffer in the long run. So I mean, it's on us. We don't want brown and black people and Somali people here, and we don't want these people here, and we're hollering all the people we don't want here. We're making it known that we don't want anybody in here and we hate everyone. And these people on here talking about, oh, she's trying to save America. Yeah, because y'all want to blame brown and black people for all your problems. The victims.
while they hide their faces.
The victims. They're such the biggest victims in America, man. You hear them. White men are under attack. The white people they keep talking about it. They're the ones that's always hollering that the Democrats are always about race. But one time, can you name a Democratic president that says something like the way Trump is talking about white people? Or the way JD Vance has said things? Never. No Democrat has ever said anything like that. But they always hollering, oh, the Democrats, they're the ones that's racist. Well, dude, I ain't never heard them say no, oh, well, you don't have to apologize for being what? What? Like, bro, this shit is amazing right now, man. We are facing some crazy shit, man. We gotta stand up and fight, man, against these crazy people. They're kicking out everyone. They just, ever since he said that shit about the Somali people, man, could you imagine being Somali right now and having to go to school? All them little racist Trump kids, Somali people, y'all trash. Just repeating the shit that he's saying. The president calling these people
They
trash.
going to school bullying their
Exactly.
friends just
They
because they
taking their
parents
cues
doing it.
straight from them. You called the whole community trash, bro. And people look up to you, so they don't. And that's why that dude ran to Minnesota and did that little video, because it was something hot and you knew that they was all over the Somali people. That's why he made it, because he knew the hate for them is going to be thick, and it's still thick. Now he didn't kick them all out the country. All those people that came here on protection status. We do that for countries. We do that for places that's America. We've always been that way. Now they think, like I said, they think the door is supposed to be closed. They thought when Biden was going to get in office, he was going to keep the same Trump policies of not letting any immigrants come in here. They losing their minds. Why is he letting all these immigrants in? Like, we haven't been doing that for like 300 years. Like, what are y'all talking about? But it was supposed to stop after Trump. No one else was supposed to be able to come in ever again. Like, what the fuck? Whew. But like I said, man, let me go ahead and start here tonight, man. Tonight is not a light show. Tonight is a necessary one. We're talking about power, who has it, how it's being used, and what happens when institutions that are supposed to be independent or humane are put under political pressure.
So let's go ahead and start at the top with something that the United States has never seen in modern history. A setting initiating a criminal probe into the Federal Reserve chair, widely viewed as retaliation over a monetary policy. And that alone should stop anyone in their tracks.
Yeah, man, it's insane. But the guys who always kept the Constitution in their pocket don't care about the Constitution right now. The guys who's always talking about don't tread on me and all this shit that they be talking, it's all nonsense. They're letting this guy just trample all over the Constitution. And as long as it's their guy, then it's cool, right? If this was a Democrat that was trampling and shitting, wiping his ass with the Constitution, they would have a problem. They would be all up in arms.
Oh, they would
All
have
that they
impeached within the first 60 days.
they yelling and screaming. But because while political power struggles to play out in headlines, there's another story unfolding, one with real bodies, real names, and real consequences. Deaths in ICE custody. Fatal enforcement encounters. This is disgusting what's going on with ICE right now. We have families left asking questions with no clear answers. People coming up missing.
But in this episode, it's about precedent. It's about the people and what happens when accountability erodes, whether it's in financial policy, immigration enforcement, or whether it's just blatantly Trump's administration.
Mhm.
We're going to go ahead and go slow for you so you can understand how we break this down for you. We're going to name what can be named and who can be named, and we're going to tell the truth carefully, clearly, and without flinching.
Yeah, man, this is a Habari Live. Like always, this is news our way. And it starts right now, man, holding people accountable. But make sure you hit the subscribe and follow button, man. For us, man, we trying to build something here, man, that holds accountability to powers.
Mm.
Something that makes sure that those who have a lot of power and a lot of money, we hold them accountable for what they do. And that's what we're trying to build here.